welcome back to edtech by Meera. Today we are going to build a chatbot using Python, a very simple chatbot at that, and we'll see how it works. Basically, this chatbot will answer all the users or the visitors rather queries, simple queries like maybe can you help me with some information, blah blah, what's your name and all that. You see, when we usually visit a website or an app, and when the app has left a chat box open, we are prompted to ask some questions and queries, right? So this works something like that. So first and foremost, we need to create a function, right, to get the task done, to execute the task of creating the job of the chatbot and creating the queries for the user, or rather accepting the queries from the user. So the chat box will accept the queries from the user and give a response immediately. So that's the job of a chatbot responder. So we create a function called, and we define a function called define chatbot responder. So the name of the function is chatbot responder, and the variable inside the parameter is the variable user message. What is the user message? The user message is actually the chat or the queries which is asked by the user or the visitor, right? So user message, and then we are converting the user message to lowercase by saying user message equals user message dot lowercase. So now after this, so why we are doing this lowercase? So that sometimes we have a tendency as a user to give to say, for example, hi or bye or hello, sometimes in all caps, sometimes mixed upper and lower case, sometimes just uppercase. So if you convert all that to lower, life is much more simpler in storing the messages. Yeah. So all the user messages will be stored in user messages dot lower as a lowercase. And now we consider some conditional messages, conditional expressions and statements. If-elif-else, we create that. So if user message is hello, so this is again, remember, the messages and the queries or the chats, what we call it, whatever you call it, is up to us to create. I created hello, you can say anything else. Just for example's sake, I'm showing demo. So if user message equals hello, return. Remember the return method that we learned earlier. I will include a link to the function to the tutorial that we did earlier in the description box below, so that you can revise and go through it in case you get stuck. So then the return is a task for the chatbot to respond, right? So when the user will say hello to the chatbot will return a message called hello, how may I help you? This is how it works, as you know already, in real life. If you communicate with a chatbot, it works like this. And then, like I say, the questions, be very careful of the questions. Try to make the questions or the queries and the stored messages and the response as simple as possible, so that when you're coding, you don't make any typo mistake. I'll be showing you here. I started with long messages here, and I made some major typo blunders. And I didn't remove those because I want to show you how it can create bugs later on in the program. Okay, and then sorry if any of my WhatsApp messages from a client is bothering you. It's just coming up in the record, because what happened was I forgot to close my other apps while recording this video, and some of my other app chats are interrupting here. I'm trying my best to remove, but in case I cannot remove, please forgive me. Do not feel bad about it. I'll be more careful next time. You know how these customers are really very irritating and bothersome. Okay. So we consider another condition, elif, if the user messages, can I get some information, then return. So it's simple. So like 3 or 4 messages, queries, and the response you have to store. Yeah. So can I get some information? Type, okay. Return, sure. What information do you need? Things like that. So the return statements are all provided for when you say return means it's the task executed by the chatbot, means it's the response executed by the chat box. And user message is the queries or the chats asked or received by the chatbot from the user message, from the user, in other words. Yeah. Okay, so things like that. So let's carry on. Some more like blah blah blah. Some more question and answers. And remember, the last condition is whatever in the else. So it's like if-elif-else, if-elif-else. Last, what we do is, because we don't know, sometimes the user may not ask the stored questions, right? We have to leave that condition also. May ask some other question which is not stored here. And as we know, chatbot is not a human being. It's a bot. So it can only respond to what is stored there. If nothing is stored there, or if something is stored there but the question is not from what is stored there in the user message, then it gets confused and it will say, sorry, I don't understand this. Usually you must have faced this problem and you must have wondered, why is the chatbot saying like this? Now you know, after doing this tutorial, why the chatbot says like this. For what particular question? Why? Because maybe the query that you asked, that was not stored in their variable at that time, in their tank, memory tank. Yeah, that's what I call it. So this is how a chatbot operates. Now you know how come a chatbot is able to reply like a human when it's not human. This is a trick. This is the magic behind the chatbot coding. Okay. So now that you're a Python guy or a girl, you know how to make. You can talk proudly about it. You can boast about it. And then another question, very funny question, may I know to whom I'm chatting with? Sometimes we want to know if it's a chatbot or a human. Then we say, what's your name or who am I chatting with? Then it will return, I'm a simple chatbot without any name. You know what? I have also faced the situation in some apps and websites where I asked a question and I got this answer, but I've also been faced with another situation when I ask the name and the chatbot replies with the name, because had you fed here, return, I am Tony Guy, sorry, then the chatbot would have replied like that. So you know what I mean. But again, I request the developers to be transparent. It's better not to pretend your chatbot to be a human being, because later it's gonna be caught. Okay. So I'm a simple chatbot without any name. It's quite common to get this answer if it's a chatbot and not a human being on your messenger box. Okay. Then, sorry, ignore the spelling mistake. I'll be correcting it later. Then another user message. Let's say I'm not sure what question to ask. I came up in the chat, I clicked the chat box, I'm not sure what to ask. Then I would say, okay, I'll talk to my papa, I'll return in a while, or whatever. I'll return in a while. I'm confused, I don't want to ask any queries now. Okay, I'm so and so, I'm Meera, I want to return home, I want to consult somebody else and come back again to the chat box. You could even say like that. So let's see what's the response of the chat box this time. Return, okay, I understand, something like that. Okay, understand, bye, see you later, catch up with you again. Again, up to you. Whatever, I repeat, whatever message, including the space, the pauses, the commas, the spellings, the case, everything will be exactly like you store in your variable, except that it will change everything back. The case will be changed to lowercase. That's the only thing we have done. Rest, everything you have to be careful. The spacing, the commas, full stops, the exclamation mark, all that will be stored exactly like the way you feed into your variable in the return task. So you are again giving a return. And please go through the return tutorial again, which I will be providing in the description below, so that you are not confused. Okay. Then what else? So I will return in a while. The response from the chatbot, return, okay, have a good day. Sometimes you can also say, okay, no problem, that's up to you. Okay, else. Now the last condition is else. You've not written what is a user message. That means if the user message is something which is not stored here from all the ifs and buts that you've given, if it's not stored here, okay, not in the memory of the variable, then the chatbot is supposed to return a response like, I'm sorry, I don't understand. For example, if I were to say, go to, oh sorry, I shouldn't be saying slangs like that. Okay, I say, oh chatbot, you are so annoying, I don't want to chat with a chat box. Let's say I say like that. Then the chatbot doesn't know what response to give because I didn't store this message in the variable, right? So it will respond as, I'm sorry, I don't understand that because I didn't store that. Had I stored that, it would respond exactly like that. Ha! Crazy, right? So this shows the importance of a developer or a programmer in the coding. You see, the words that you use also very important. The communication, the communication of the project. Okay, so better stick to very simple language so that there's no mistake. I think I'll be running some bugs later because I've made a lot of pauses and commas and stuff like that and long sentences. So let's see what happens. Okay. Now I do the print statement. I just do one print statement like welcome message. So welcome, you can even say welcome to my website, welcome to my chatbox app, something like that. This is just an introductory printing the welcome message to the user. Okay, and then I also give a condition. I also give a line like condition like type by in order to exit. So this I'm saying to my to the user or the visitor because I want to make sure that the user knows that if you type by, that means exit. Yeah. Actually, you can use that in the if-elif condition also, but I'm just showing it to you here. Okay, now the main, for the main loop, remember the while true loop that we've done earlier. Okay, so in the while true loop, which is the main loop, I'm gonna say the exact way the user message or the chat is received or accepted by the chat bot. So remember the input function. So user message equals, use the input function, input, because you need to use the input in order to receive because it's a user generated message, right? So wherever it is user generated messages or chats or queries, you need to use the input function. So user message equals input, then user, then the colon. That means you are giving, it's a string. In order for you are leaving that string and a gap in between, you are leaving a space for the user to say something. That will be a string sentence. Here, hello, hi world, whatever. Hi bot, whatever you want the user to send a chat. So that's the input method or the input function. Okay. Now we use a condition here. So this is actually execution that's happening here. First we explained the execution for storing the chat and the responses. Now we are explaining in the true loop the execution of what's happening between the accepting of the messages and the response from the chatbot. So okay, so if user message dot lower is, because we stored everything in dot lower, remember, if it's by, then remember, then it will exit. So then print out chatbot okay, something like have a great day. So it will just say, chatbot will say, have a great day. After that, what will it do? It will exit, remember? And for exiting the loop, what do you need? Remember, we've done the break. We've done the break method earlier. Yeah. So the moment the user says bye, then the chatbot will say, just finish off with having a great day kind of a greeting, and then it will break the loop, exit the loop. Yeah. Okay. If not, if the user message doesn't exit, or rather doesn't say bye, in order to, because bye is only said in the last, right, after finishing all the chats. In the beginning, no, at least one liner he would have finished before saying bye. You cannot just introduce with a bye. So the break means exit, and then okay, now you have not created, remember, you've not created a variable to store the responses, right? You have created a variable user message.lower for storing all the messages from the user or the visitor. Now you also need to create a variable for storing the chatbot responses, right? So what is the response variable? So response variable is equal to chatbot response with what is the parameter? Obviously user message, because it's based on the user message, the response. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue. I'm so sorry, my client communication has been caught here, so do not get confused by that, because I'm sorry, it's impossible to delete those because it's coming up in almost all my lines. So annoying. I should have switched off my Wi-Fi and record the video. So that's my mistake. I forgot to switch off my Wi-Fi, because when normally I switch off my Wi-Fi in order to record my video, because only when there's Wi-Fi all from social media everywhere, all over the place, people will disturb me with messages while I'm recording. Okay. So the response will be chatbot responder with the parameter user message. Yeah, so now you need one more print message, right, regarding the chatbot response. So remember the string format for the print. Okay, I will include the print function also with the string format method in the description below, so that you can also take a look at the print method or the print function while taking a look at the return function and the return method. So you can revise that while you're doing this project. So you don't have to go and search for it or look for it in all over the net. Haha. So print string format, which is F, and then the chatbot and the response. So there's a bug. See, you forgot a comma. Now why does it happen? Because I wrote long sentences. I didn't think of that. Oh my god, it's like so long. So I decided to cut short the messages. See, something like, can I get some information? Sure, what information can I help you with today? It's like too long. So I'm planning to cut short them. Because sometimes we are human beings, we've stored like that. Now, when we are testing and running it, we may not have exactly typed like that, the message, the chat. Maybe we left a comma or punctuation or something like that. Okay. How may I help you? Okay, so the first part is okay. When I say hi, it says, hello, how may I help you? Let's try another condition, another query, I'm sorry. Okay, I made it short to your name. So remember, when you're changing here, you have to change there also in your variable. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't understand. So there's a mistake here again. Try some other. Can I get some information? Oh my god, I repeated it twice. See, it's a typo. So again, I won't get the expected response. I'm sorry, because I repeated it twice. So this is the reason I said when you're storing the query, keep it simple. at least during your learning phase or during your experimenting phase. Later, when you have enough time, you're doing it as a project, you can like see do it properly. Okay, long sentence I mean. So I'm going to cut short. So for the name, what's your name? I'm going to make it like your name. Simple like that. So let me edit it out and then we will run it again after editing the question and the responses. So instead of saying, can I get some information, etc., so cumbersome and boring, I just say information. I also decide to do away with the punctuation and like question mark and all that. Question mark, full stop, all that I just don't use. Or I can just say information, please. Simple, right? Because the response you don't have to edit. The user message you need to edit because when you're testing it out, you are going to be the one typing it. If you type it wrongly, you'll get the wrong response. Understand? So when testing it, the problem will be with the user message. If you don't type it back again. Okay. Just make it your name. No question mark. Because last time I forgot to write a question mark and it gave me a bug. Okay. So I've made all quite short. Let's try it out. Let's try it again. By the way, I'm using Replit Code Editor. I think as a beginner for you guys, it'll be a nice idea to use that. It's a cloud editor. And for making the first 100 projects, it's free. You don't have to pay. Okay. Hello, how may I help you? When I said hi. Next question. Information, please. I'm just running it. Okay. Sure, what information can I help with you today? Can I help you with today? Okay, then another question. See you later. I know it's a funny question. I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Oh, there's some mistake over there. I need to check that out. So I need to correct that also. Then let's try out another question. Your name, please, or your name. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Oh my God. Again, some bug over there because this is not the answer I was expecting. Bye. Okay, goodbye. Have a great day. That's okay. Exit it. So let me try those two questions which was bothering me and not which was bugging me. Okay, let me go over there, make some corrections and make it simpler. See if there's any punctuation problem. Wherever there's a string, you have to be very careful. So here you understand the string format chatbot response in a curly braces, right? Because we've done that earlier. So that's why I said I'll leave the tutorial for the print function also in the description below. Okay. Let's see what was wrong in the see you later message. Because when you say your name, supposed to answer I'm a simple chatbot without any name, this is what it's supposed to come up with, the reply. See you later, supposed to say okay, have a good day, but I didn't get the response. Oh yeah, the your name, there's a space before the string. That's why. Sometimes when you're writing a string and there's a double space between the string and the word and the letter, then also it's a problem. That's what happened to me this time. So I'll just do the necessary punctuation error fixing, sorry. Let's run it again. Welcome. Okay, user hi, I say hi. Okay, hello, how may I help you? The chatbot says. User, okay, I just say later. Oh, okay, have a good day. Yeah. So that was about some string problem, space problem, punctuation problem. Then I say information, please. It's easier to say easier to handle if you write short sentences or phrases. Sure, what information can I help you with today? That's from the chatbot. So now it's working like a chatbot. Yay. Okay, your name. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. What nonsense? Why is it giving that bug again? You try out one more question. Okay, bye, goodbye, have a great day. It's able to exit when I say bye. So that part is okay, just except for one query needs to be fixed. Okay, let's go there again. Your name, okay. The same thing, the string. There's a space, double space in the string. And when I typed, there was no space. Between the open and close inverted commas, there should be exactly the same space as what you've stored in your variable. So, and then when you type it back to test it, it has to match with it, with your stored information. Like you see here, your name, see, and the close inverted and the open inverted space should be the same. So I'm gonna retype it again to make sure it is revised here. So I just made it to a short form, name please, and then I did the open and the close inverts again in order to avoid the space break. So all this part I purposely kept it for you to see how the debugging is going on. Otherwise I could have removed it and not wasted your time. But I feel it's not wasting your time. It's like what I actually went through while debugging it. I want you to have an experience of that and be patient, because coding is about being patient and about doing a lot of debugging for silly mistakes, for silly things. So I want you to go through with me through that experience and not hide that part. I don't want to hide that part. I want you also to go through that so that next time you don't make the same mistake like I did. I did the mistake. I don't want you to do the same mistake, right? So that's it. So yeah, there you go. How may I help you? Let's try the question again. Information, please. Okay, sure. What information can I help you with today? That's interesting. Okay, name please. The user is asking, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. This is really annoying. Later, okay, have a nice day. Okay, that part is solved, taken care of. Okay. So I say silly, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. This is what I didn't store, like I said earlier, right? I just did that for joke part. So when I say bye, yeah, goodbye, have a great day, exit. When I say silly, which I didn't store, it says, I'm sorry, I don't understand that, which is correct. Whatever I have not stored, if I say something offhandedly, it's supposed to say, I don't understand. But the way that name please, I've stored, but still it's giving me a funny answer. So let me debug that again. I know it's annoying. The debugging part is annoying, but it's interesting also, because at the end of it, when you are able to debug, it's like celebration time, celebration time. Frustration followed by celebration time. Okay, it's about the string name. See, the open invert was the one creating the problem. I thought I had fixed it, but I forgot to remove the one with the space earlier. Sorry about that. This happens when you're doing typos. It's a typo error. Okay, straight away to the question name, please. First, hi again. How may I help you with? Because it's annoying to ask the name first, right? Name, please. I am a simple chatbot without any name, but I could answer your queries. Wow! Yeah! I was able to debug that finally. So, I have debugged everything. Information, please. Yeah. Also, what information can I help you with today? That's great, great, great. Okay, later. Okay, sure. Have a good day. Okay, have a good day. So I'm getting the right responses as per what is stored. Silly, I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Crazy. If I can say crazy, it's the same thing, response I would get. Okay, goodbye, have a great day when I say bye. So everything is as per what I stored, the user messages and the responses. So now we are able to create that simple chatbot for our website or app using Python. Have a great day. I want you guys to do it exactly like this. Change the names, play around with some messages, have fun, and I will also go through the return and the print function tutorials. And then if you don't understand something here, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be only too glad to help you with that information. And as you can see, it's very simple with all the explanation given here. I'll be also creating a tutorial later in the written part. See you later. Next week, I see you with an interesting tutorial. Until then, stay safe and remember to smash the subscribe button and the bell button so that you will get my posts immediately in your inbox, and enjoy this tutorial.